That seems legit. This episode of Scam School brought to you by Domain.com. Welcome to the show that once found itself stranded, alone on the surface of Mars, surrounded with 1,000 potatoes. You know what we did? We made vodka. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the streets. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Brushwood, and this week we are back again at the Handlebar with our favorite group of miscreants, the Longhorn Lockpicking Club, who taught us the most disturbing, fundamental secret. You think that your locks are safe? They aren't, and you're about to find out why, and I'm gonna drink. Beep, 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 beep. Back again with some of our favorite folks from the Austin Longhorn Lockpicking Club. Jagor, good to see you, and we have... Alec. All right, now Jagor was saying that you had some insights on these common padlocks that we've seen. What can you tell me about these?
Yeah, so these are what we call warded locks, and you can pick them out just basically by the keyway. If you look real closely, you can tell it looks almost nothing like a standard pin tumbler lock, like what you're used to.
Normally you have kind of like an S-curve to a pin tumbler lock, but these are like zigzags all the way down,
yeah,
right?
and you can usually see where a closest pin on a pin tumbler lock.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
But with these, yeah, there's no pins at all in there.
You can look straight down, like I see the bottom, and I don't see anything poking in on the side.
Yeah, so it looks very different, and it doesn't look like any lock that you've probably picked before.
It's worth mentioning that this particular type of lock was designed to survive harsh weather conditions, like outside sheds and stuff, where it's going to freeze and get a bunch of gunk in it, and still has to work. So it's very few moving parts in this lock. It's a very open keyway, and that's the quickest way to tell. If you look into it, it's very open. You can tell everything inside there.
How do they work?
So the way these locks work, this is actually a key to the lock that you have in your hand. And if you look, there's a bunch of notches cut out.
So to me, I look at this and I'm like, oh, it's just like a pin tumbler lock. You've got notches up and down, and it matches, and then it twists. But is that not the case?
That's almost the case. These cuts actually correspond to fixed discs inside the lock, and the key is inserted, and when turned, those notches have to match up with the discs inside the lock. If you have the wrong key, what ends up happening is those notches don't align and the key can't turn.
Looking at this, there would be 3 cylinders that need to be turned. Not here, yes here, not here, yes here, not here, and then yes here.
So that's what people would think.
Oh shoot.
In general, it's actually just the last tab that actually turns anything. And in some cases, there are actually 2. It's the last and the second to last.
So is the rest of these, they're what, camouflage?
They're actually there just to prevent the wrong key from turning.
Forgive me if I'm jumping right to the end. It seems like theoretically, if you removed all of these other nonsense, hey, am I onto something here?
Well, so yes. What we have or what a locksmith would carry is what's called a set of warded picks.
Okay.
And these are basically all of the potential end combinations that you could have for a warded lock.
Okay.
And they just stripped away the middle portion so that there's nothing actually preventing the wrong key from turning.
It's always at the bottom is where the turning one is?
It's
or
always either the last tab
Yeah.
or the second to last tab, which is why you'll notice like this one right here has 2. So sometimes it will actually be both of the last 2 tabs.
all right, I want to see these things in action. I want to see if we can make one of our own, but first you guys got to toast me. Getting fancy. Yes, it worked. Attention, Scam School fans of Earth Dimension EE275. This is Brushwood from Earth Dimension C137. We've recently been taken over by the Galactic Federation. I never got a television show. I never changed my hairstyle. And in this dimension, I grew a sweet, sweet soul patch. Also, I like wine. I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Scamcata on the shoulder of Orion. Card tricks at the Handlebar bar. Wait, you probably have seen that one. It's too late for us, but not for you. You could get the word out. You could make a website using your friends at Domain.com. They don't exist in my dimension. That's why we fell. You can use promo code SCAMSCHOOL at checkout to get 15% off your order. You'll be keeping Scam School C137 in business, and the better version of Brian alive. Got nothing to live for anymore. I'm gonna set everything to overdrive. I'm gonna self-destruct. I'm gonna eat sunflower seeds whole. What's the point? Toast, 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 booze. All right, show me how the warded lockpick, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Warded lockpicks work.
Warded lockpicks. In general, if you're going up to a lock and you don't have the key, you're not going to know which one of these will correspond to it. So what you do is you just start at one end
Yeah.
and you start testing them.
This is like the opposite of what we were doing over on this thing. There's no gentleness to it. It's just shove it in and it's gonna be one of these, what, 6?
5.
So you're saying like virtually all warded locks
Can
like
be
this.
opened with these 5 keys.
That's a little
It's
disturbing.
basically a master key.
Okay, all right, well, prove it, bro.
This one should actually, there we go.
Okay, that's terrifying. May I? Can I
Yes.
try that? So all I'm doing is herky jerking and then kind of working my way down. Okay, in that case, it turned but didn't open.
So there is I'll give you a hint on this particular.
Whoa!
Nice.
It's not necessary, bro. Okay, now this is great. I assume, like, are these illegal or are they difficult to get a hold of or?
No.
Okay.
So it's usually judged by the same rules as normal lockpicks. It'll differ from state to state. You have to look up your local statutes.
Right.
But in most states, most cases, it's perfectly legal to carry those, to use them for your own locks, your own legal purposes.
From what I've looked at online, it says that the big complication is if you're arrested for a crime and you have these on you,
Yes.
stuff gets way
They
ugly at that
become
point.
burglary tools at that point. It bumps up your crime to a felony and you're not gonna have a good time.
This is great if you have one of these highfalutin fancy pants things, but can you make your own pick for this?
Yes. So since the keys are actually basically what we're looking for, if you take a file to a key and just shave away the last portions,
If you know what brand the padlock is, you could just go buy any warded key set to the same one and have a pretty good expectation that it'll fit.
so it's not deterministic by brand.
Okay.
But I mean, in general, if you look at a lock, you can usually see the key.
Apparently there's only 5 options.
You can usually see the key, and all you have to look at are the last 2 tabs. And if you already have those 2 tabs,
Okay, so this is the actual key that fits in,
Yep.
and then does open it. All right, and then
Of course, if you try that key on another lock, it's not going to work.
yeah, correct. It does not work. So that's great. So let me take this and see if it's like a universal thing. God, I can't believe it. My bikes will never be safe again. Does it also work on this one?
A little
It's a lot
finicky, but
trickier.
it should still work eventually.
I don't know. So far, I've not seen a lot of finesse involved in warded locks. Come on.
there is a trick to that one.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, it's going to be the last ward and then the second to last ward in that order.
Oh shoot! I would not have thought about that. Okay, so here's.
I can
oh,
show you.
have
I
to-
can show you.
Oh! In your face, USA, USA.
Not
Toast
bad.
me now. That was amazing. Of course, we got to give a huge thanks to the Longhorn Lockpicking Club for hooking us up with this secret. Now, I don't know if it's true, but I'm told that this is the principle that made possible the TSA lock hack that you heard about in the news. If I'm right, write me directly at brian@schwood.com. If I'm wrong, complain loudly at twitter.com/schwood and let me know where I've gone astray. By the way, don't forget to join us next week because we're going to pick up a talking dog from a local shelter and then begin to solve mysteries. Also, the talking dog will be a child. Is that legal? Child labor laws? Is that a thing? Where we learn the fundamental secret, the dark.
Do we get it? I'll tell you what, man. Playing dress up gets me pretty excited.
Herky jerking and then kind of working my way down.
Fancy.